What is up, everybody? It's Animac here for AnimeUproar, and today I will be trying to get it together after the last video where I almost cried, and I will be talking about the latest twist in the 7 Deadly Sins story. In the previous chapters, we got multiple clear hints that the defeat of the Demon King has disrupted the balance of light and darkness, and that something ominous will happen as a result. In this chapter, we got more information about this new era that is coming after the era of the gods, and we learned that this new era is not an era of peace and happy endings. Rather, this is an era of chaos. And I don't know about you, but introducing an era of chaos at this point sure doesn't sound like the beginning of an epilogue to me. Rather, it sounds like the beginning of a new mysterious arc. And so let's dive into all of the information that we have so far in order to determine what will happen next in this new arc and where the story will be going from here. If you enjoyed the 7 Deadly Sins content on this channel and you want us to keep it going, please leave a like to let me know, it really does help. And if you happen to be new to AnimeUproar, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. A big thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons who make videos like this one possible. With constant YouTube demonetization, fake claims and strikes, and now COPPA, patrons really are more important than ever. Thank you guys so much. And finally, this video will of course contain 7 Deadly Sins spoilers. We're talking about the latest developments in the story, way beyond the anime, so please proceed with caution. You have been warned. The cover of chapter 334 shows the divine axe Rita stuck in the ground and the words "the mightiest of all's final gift." I'm gonna be honest, seeing Rita like this in the ground on its own without anyone to carry it really hit me right in the feels. And this page also made me wonder right away, what kind of gift are we talking about? As the chapter begins, the sun finally comes out in all its glory, following the epic battle against the Demon King. And naturally, all of Britannia is overjoyed. The people of Britannia realize what the sunshine means. The battle against the Demon King has ended, and the 7 Deadly Sins managed to win. The enormous, ominous magic that came from the Demon King is gone, and everything is back to normal, as if nothing was ever wrong in the first place. Perhaps this is the final symbolic gift that the cover page was talking about. Escanor's ultimate sacrifice brought back the sun and banished the darkness, and this is deeply symbolic because Escanor was, after all, the master of the sun, the legendary Big Daddy Sunshine, and he is still and always will be the Big Daddy of our hearts. Dreyfus, Henriksen, Gia, and Jericho all rush back to Leonis, where news has already reached King Bartra that the 7 Deadly Sins defeated the Demon King and that Elizabeth is safe. Everyone in the capital is celebrating, and they decide to prepare a big celebration for the Sins. King Bartra even declares that this day will become a new holiday in Britannia and a festival will be held to mark the monumental occasion. However, it appears that the messenger did not tell the king that Escanor died during the course of the battle. So while everyone is happy and celebrating, most of them seem blissfully unaware that Escanor sacrificed his life in order to make all of this possible. But Gilthunder is visibly shaken due to the loss of Escanor, and he walks away from the celebration. His best friends Hauser and Griamore follow him, and together they discuss Escanor's ultimate sacrifice. Griamore is humbled by Escanor's noble sacrifice and how he could smile while risking his life for his friends. This is not something that just anyone could do, and Hauser ponders whether he could also one day reach the greatness and glory of someone like Escanor. Not bloody likely, Hauser, but good luck, my dude. The 3 holy knights decide to raise a glass, or rather bottle, and toast the epic life of Escanor. Griamore then asks whether they are going to drink at his house, and it is clear from his demeanor that he would rather not go to his house for some reason. Gil asks whether there is some specific reason that Griamore doesn't want them to come over, and Hauser suggests that maybe Griamore has a secret child that he is hiding from them. Griamore just kinda sighs, and they end up going to his house anyway, where they toast the 7 Deadly Sins, and especially the lion's sin of pride. As the 3 holy knights sit around the table, Gil and Hauser are talking about the end of the Holy War and how great it is that the Demon King has finally been defeated. Meanwhile, Griamore is being all shifty, and a thought bubble shows him thinking about a woman who appears to be staying at the house, a woman whose presence he clearly wants to keep secret from his friends. Hauser wonders what kind of new era awaits them now that the era of the Demon King is over, and Gil says that he hopes it will be an era of peace. But then, in that moment, none other than the thick yandere, Vivian, emerges from the other room and proclaims that when an imbalance between the light and darkness is created, the era of chaos begins. Gil and Hauser jump from the table, shocked to see Vivian. They thought that she had been killed by Ludoshell earlier on in the story. However, Vivian explains that back when she was stabbed by Ludoshell, she was actually just injured. She was then saved by Griamore's father, Dreyfus. Dreyfus felt bad for Vivian, so he had Hendrickson use recovery magic to help her, and then he took her back to his house until she recovered. Since Vivian is considered a traitor to the kingdom, Dreyfus couldn't treat her injuries in the castle, so he decided to do it secretly at home. And because of Dreyfus's kind act, Vivian is now over Gil and she is madly in love with Dreyfus instead. Say what you will about Vivian, but she is a pretty solid yandere character, and now that she is over Gil, she will probably be a lot less annoying. It's also pretty funny that she's now into Griamore's dad, and she tells Griamore to call her mom from now on. Who knew that Dreyfus was a DILF? A daddy Vivian would love to fondle. Apparently, the magic of the goddesses also removed Vivian's curse, and I assume that this happened when she was pierced by Ludoshell's sword, so that's a bit of a blessing in disguise right there. And okay, I know what we're all thinking. Escanor, the mightiest human, the master of the sun, Big Daddy Sunshine had to die, but Vivian is brought back. Really? Nakaba, my dude? I mean, I don't mind Vivian. Like I said, she is a pretty solid yandere, and now she's a DILF hunter, so that's pretty hilarious. But I'm still not over the loss of Escanor. That previous chapter really broke my heart, and the lightheartedness of this chapter is definitely a nice change of pace, but I'm still reeling from what happened last week. Nevertheless, this chapter is not all drinking and DILF hunters. As Vivian mentioned earlier, the new era that begins after the defeat of the Demon King is not an era of peace. Instead, it is an era of chaos. When Gil asks Vivian what this means, she tells him that this is what Merlin always told her. When the balance between the light and darkness crumbles, it will mark the end of the Age of the Gods and the return of the era of chaos. Then, eventually, the world will be reborn. We know that Vivian was at one point the apprentice of Merlin, so it does make sense that Merlin would share this type of information with her. The final scene shows the sins in Leones, drinking and eating. Meliodas appears to be toasting a bottle with a symbol of the sun on it, another symbolic shout out to Escanor. We then see Merlin, her face still scarred, drinking what appears to be wine, and the final panel of the chapter shows none other than the body of King Arthur himself. And Arthur is still lying motionless, his chest pierced by the legendary sword Excalibur. The text on the final panel reads, "The era begins to shift forward with the king's death as the catalyst." So again, instead of the series ending, the manga appears to be teasing another arc. Instead of an era of peace, the defeat of the Demon King has ushered in an era of chaos. But what exactly will this new era bring? What will happen next? We don't know for sure, but we do have enough information to make some important speculations, and that is exactly what I will be doing right now. First off, the idea that the Age of the Gods has ended and an era of chaos is about to follow before the world is born anew is very similar to Ragnarok in Norse mythology. If you watch my Attack on Titan videos, then you've surely heard me talk about Ragnarok a lot, but basically Ragnarok is the apocalypse in Norse mythology. A great war erupts and even the gods are killed, and then the era of the gods ends. Then, out of that chaotic apocalyptic situation, a new world will emerge, and a man and a woman will survive the apocalypse and they will repopulate the earth and the world is born anew. Clearly something along these lines is being referenced here, with King Arthur being particularly important. His death was apparently a catalyst for what is about to happen next. So what will this Age of Chaos bring? What can we expect? We know that in Greek mythology, chaos was the first thing that existed before the birth of the gods, So this apparent death of the gods will usher in a return to an era of chaos. What this means exactly I cannot say at the moment, but it's safe to assume that Hawk's mama isn't called the mother of chaos for nothing. This age of chaos will clearly involve Hawk's mama and probably also Hawk in some way, although it's difficult to say how exactly all of this will tie in. I predict that there will be 4 key players in this Era of Chaos arc, along with the main characters, of course. Those key players are the Mother of Chaos, King Arthur, Merlin, and potentially the Supreme Deity. This new arc will revolve around these 4 characters in some way, and if the Return to Chaos comments can be taken at face value, then we are in for some pretty apocalyptic events in the very near future. It is clear from this chapter that Merlin knows some important things that other people do not know. From Vivian's comments, it is clear that Merlin always knew that defeating the Demon King would lead to some fundamental changes and that it would usher in an era of chaos. It was also revealed in the previous chapter that Merlin has certain sins and secrets that she has lived with for over 3,000 years. And she is also the only sin whose backstory hasn't been explored in any significant detail. It seems to me that Merlin is deeply connected to the Era of Chaos, and she is the common denominator that connects the other 3 important characters in the story. Merlin was the mentor of King Arthur, and it is clear that she had chosen him for something big before his tragic death. Merlin is also the one who first told us that the great Oshiro, aka Hawk's mama, was none other than the Mother of Chaos. And of course, this happened in the 7 Deadly Sins Prisoners of the Sky movie. Finally, Merlin was the one who tricked the Demon King and the Supreme Deity in order to gain blessings from both of them. So Merlin has a direct connection to all 3 other important characters that I think will be relevant in this arc: Arthur, the Mother of Chaos, and the Supreme Deity. Merlin also has secret knowledge about all 3 of them that no one else appears to have, and I predict that this information will become crucial during this new Chaos arc. So now please let me know what you guys think. What will this new Era of Chaos bring, and what can we expect next from this arc in the story? To me, it definitely seems like a brand new arc is being teased, and that it will revolve around Merlin, Arthur, Hawk's mama, and potentially, hopefully, the Supreme Deity. Do you agree? And if not, what do you think the next arc will focus on? Also, how about the whole Vivian x Dreyfus ship? Pretty damn unexpected, but I guess I don't hate it, especially since it's going to be so hilariously awkward for poor Griamore. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see us make more videos like this one, please leave a like to let me know. And if you happen to be new to AnimeUproar, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. If you want to get notified for our videos and you don't want to miss them, it is very important to go through the trouble of clicking the bell and then selecting the option to turn on all notifications. Feel free to hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar for all the latest 7 Deadly Sins news and updates. I want to give a big thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons for supporting our work and making videos like this one possible. Special thank you to all of our Pro Hero tier patrons, including the one and only Gilgamesh, Baby Ray, Nothing But a Fan, Jason Wilson, King Zeldris, $50 Beat, Ekarad GN, Anatoly Kazatsky, DJ Nathaniel, Alpha Dio, and Angel Cruz. And of course, I can't forget our The One tier patrons, the ones who stand above all other clans, including Ingrata, Alolanado, Matty Mac, Makotakun, Seth Cooper, and The World. And you know he's serious because he didn't say Zawaldo. If you enjoy our videos and you feel that they provide value for you, please consider becoming a patron. Even a single $1 will give you access to our patron exclusive Discord, and your name will appear in our videos along with these amazing people. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.